Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to Going Medieval. Do please excuse me there as I fumble over my introduction because my feet are blindly searching for my footstool, which has disappeared. I see. I had the ferrets out just before I started recording, and it seems that Ares decided that my footstool was something he wanted to stash. Ares is perhaps the only one that is big enough to be able to stash my entire footstool. My lord. Okay, so in the last episode, we managed to flesh out a couple of things, namely the gatehouse here. We also expanded out our storage area, and we fleshed out, or rather finished off, our stockpile, rather our cellar here underneath the quote-unquote Great Hall. It's not really a Great Hall yet, it is a hall. Nevertheless, we are making do. However, one of the first things I would like to do in today's episode is actually implement a suggestion from the comments, and that was to move my pyres up onto the hill over here in honor of and kind of in memory of Graveyard Keeper and Witch Hill, and I think that's such a wonderful idea. And also I kind of like the aesthetic just generally, even aside from the obvious connections with Graveyard Keeper. No, I like that. I like that an awful lot. So we're going to go ahead and set that up. That's one of the first things we're going to do. Now, the next thing is a couple of people mentioned, well, we don't yet have a lot of winter clothes because I'm restricted them to only making 2, and there are 2 available. Well, that's fine for me. You might not be familiar with the way I tend to do this. This is something this is a technique that I have developed over time, over a great amount of playtime in RimWorld, and that is, I don't like just sinking my resources into something and overproducing. So when it comes to clothes, something that will gradually wear down naturally and then will need to be replaced kind of in an asymmetrical way, because people will wear through their clothes at different rates, especially if there's combat involving them. I tend to try and just say, always keep 1 or 2. 2 it gives me a little bit of a buffer, you see. So if 2 people need it around the same time, 1 doesn't have to wait for a new one to be made. But you've got to cut it off somewhere, and I think 2 is a nice place to do that. What we're doing right now is, if any of the winter clothes down here were unsuitable, they were below 50, we got 55% of its durability, we would be destroying it. So the fact that we haven't destroyed any more means that all of the winter clothing here we either made or is sufficient for us to repurpose from someone that we've attacked. Now, leaving 2 there does mean that through once we start switching over to our winter clothes, 2 people will go and immediately be able to equip it, and then we're going to have to wait for more to be made. But that's the nice thing about autumn. Autumn is a bit of a buffer, where we're going to have the kind of highs from summer in the beginning, down to the lows of winter towards the end, and then you get into the deep winter when winter actually fully arrives. Across autumn, we will easily have been able to outfit everyone with winter clothes, and then get back to having 2 in hand. So that's why I'm doing that. Though on that note, one of the other reasons why I like to do it like this is it allows me to build up a supply of other things, and in this case I would like 2 hats for the same exact reason. We can't, unfortunately, one of the really nice things about RimWorld's production builds is you can specify the quality as well. So whereas I'm breaking things down if they're lower than 55, I could say here, well, if there's something that's like at 60%, well, don't include that. Look for things that are above 60%, 60% durable, so that you can give yourself a little bit of a buffer between things that are too good to be destroyed, but are so poor, in such poor state of repair that they'll be worn down very quickly, and little things like that. Unfortunately, we can't do that one. Next up, we will also want some summer clothes, and exactly the same thing. We're going to want to do those, do those until we have 2 in reserve, and furthermore, we'll also go ahead and we'll add a wide-brimmed straw hat for the same reason. And that way, over time, we're going to have all of the materials that we're going to need. I've been thinking about our weapon situation as well, and I think we're going to actually do exactly the same with our bows. I always want at least 2 bows that are worth having. We are making sure that we're breaking down anything that's got less than 55% hit points, and to that end, I think we should generally be good enough to go in here and, at least for apparel, for example, like, well, you know what, let's actually start switching over to the winter apparel. We're practically in autumn right now. So if we go in here and edit this, I would like to make sure there's 51% up to 100. This gives us an overlap. I'll destroy anything that's 55% or below, but if they're already wearing something, they won't take it off until it's 51%. So again, you never end up in this kind of weird state where they've taken it off because it's not worth wearing, but it's kind of also at that border between being bad enough to destroy. So hopefully this will help out. I noticed that most people are actually wearing winter clothes, though. In fact, only 2 people aren't, so the 2 that we've got in hand should be good enough for us. All things considered. Now, I do need to make sure that anything that someone has just taken off gets put back on again. Let's make sure that is the case. There we are. Okay, good enough. Now, we still have plenty of wood outside, which I'm reasonably happy to see. We can now delete this as well. There we go. But one of the other things that I'm a little bit worried about is we are at our capacity now for bedding. I would very much like to expand out our living quarters. Now, a couple of people have suggested that we dig down into the ground for that, and that's certainly an option, but I would actually like to have the little cottages above ground, and perhaps we'll have a barrack down below. But I think I would actually like to try and switch over to the private bedrooms now that we can. We've currently been working with shared bedrooms, which gives them a little bit of a mood buff, but private bedrooms gives them a lot of mood buff. So let's go ahead and switch over. We're going to pop down a little ladder over here because we don't really have much of an access in this corner just yet. And I think with stone beginning to be accumulated, I'm not ready yet to replace the functionality of our gatehouse. It is doing its job well enough right now, so I'm happy with it staying like that. But I think we can now start to migrate towards stone walls. Now, a couple of people have suggested that if I'm going to be building stone walls, I should wait for a stone cutter. In fact, we do have that available to us right now, and that is certainly an option. However, I'd rather use our research on smelting, and we're not that far away from it right now. But also, I like bricks, sure. Brick buildings, they have a certain charm all their own. But right now, we would be building dry stone wall buildings, and that, again, has a certain charm to it that I would like to incorporate into our builds. Now, at this point, as I've made quite a few comparisons to RimWorld, let's continue with that trend. One of the nice things about this game is that unlike RimWorld, where if you give someone a tiny little room, and unlike Dwarf Fortress indeed, where you can kind of have a tiny little box, as long as it's got a bed and maybe a dresser, a dwarf is happy. In RimWorld, you need lots of space, and it's the same in Stonehearth as well. They have an idea of how much free room is around them, and unless you've taken certain traits with your town in Stonehearth, your Hearthlings really dislike being enclosed in spaces. Well, I think I would like to make use of the fact that our colonists here don't care. I've got a bed to myself? My lord, I'm practically a king, they might be inclined to say. So we're just going to build little 2x3 bedrooms, and I think it'll be more than good enough for them for now. We're going to have a window. There we are. A window at the edge of the bed. Sure, I think that'll be okay. They can throw open the window and have a nice little chill come in of a night if they want to. And we can also add in a little wall torch to keep it warm. On that note, though, we could perhaps also go ahead and go full bore and perhaps even add in a clay brazier. I think maybe so. Maybe a little clay brazier. We could go for a 3x3 and have a little bit extra. You know what? Fine. These are swanky rooms from now on. I know, I'm too kind to you. It's a flaw, really. But, yeah, we're going to go ahead and we are going to add in, and now that we've done that, we may as well put the door a little bit further along. We're going to add in a little clay brazier. I would rather the clay brazier not be right next to the bed. Call me silly if you want to, but I just worry that it's going to set our largely straw mattress on fire. You might be wondering, well, why aren't you worried about the largely straw roof? Well, that's because there's plenty of evidence that supports the idea that a fire at the bottom of the building isn't going to set your thatch roof on fire. We've been through that. We have for science this, literally, in real life, many, many times. However, having a fire right next to your bed may be a bit of a bold move, honestly. Maybe something that pyromaniacs in particular would like. But let's go ahead and set up a good number of these little homes. That will give us a goodly amount, actually. That'll give us a total of 8 possible bedrooms, and I think that will be more than enough for now. Let's fill all of this out. It won't take me too long, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flesh this out, and it's going to take us a little while to get all of the materials in, but I will bring it back when we've made some more progress or something interesting is afoot. So see you very, very soon. Autumn blustered in with crisp mornings and cooler days. It was the season to prepare for winter, tailoring warm clothing and stocking up on food and supplies. Well, we've already got the stocking up on food and supplies part under control, and indeed, I think we may actually be already on top of keeping warm. Ah, fantastic. I like it when we're already ahead of the curve. Right, but as you can see, we haven't actually made too much more progress here. 1 day has passed, more or less, so that is to be expected. But whilst I have you here to revel in the announcement that autumn is upon us, it's high time that I fix this, isn't it? Yes. Look, I didn't mean to be a scallywag, all right? Yes, I absolutely knew that I hadn't yet put that into its correct place, and it was out of alignment, and it was slowly driving some of you to madness and ruin, and I am sorry. Like, I genuinely, I feel bad for you. I really do. I deeply sympathize. However, I just had other things I was prioritizing, okay? But we'll get that sorted now so that you can finally breathe a heavy sigh of relief. I do apologize, peeps. We will get it sorted. Don't you worry. And we'll pop those in there. I'm going to leave this shrine there, though, until I've built the replacement, because I don't want people to be without a place of worship for too long. But I have some plans on our current distribution of our worship rooms. Yes, I've got some ideas on expansion. Now, I don't want to give our people too many things to do all at once, so I'm going to hold off on that one for just the time being. By the way, regarding putting braziers in each bedroom, whilst in summer, that's crazy. I can always turn it off in the summer. During spring and autumn, it'll be lovely. If I need to, I can always open the window. It's not like we're putting fuel in. If we were having to keep these fueled, then that would be genuinely a problem. It would be a very wasteful thing, and I'd probably keep them off most of the time. But we can always throw open the windows as well during summer. But in winter, we're going to need something capable of that much heat to keep even a small room like that above freezing temperatures. Barking up the wrong tree, she was found faint and bleeding by a citizen of Woven Tales. From the axe and shattered lumber, Claritia, or is it Claritia? I'm not really sure. It depends on whether you are feeling particularly Roman or not. Had clearly experienced a wood-cutting mishap. Would you let them stay and heal? The settlers slammed the door shut. The settlers decided to welcome her in. Oh, of course. Melee 14, my lord. My goodness, you must be very good with an axe. Actually, a pickaxe as well. Are you actually any good with carpentry? No, you're really bad with carpentry. Are you any good with plant cutting? No, you could. Yes, okay, I can understand why you had a wood cutting mishap. You're a miner, not a lumberjack, my lord. But welcome. Oh wow, you are straight down. Ooh, dear me. Let's have a quick look at your wounds first and foremost. Deep arm laceration, some motor function lost. Severe loss of motor function and unconscious. Right, well, who's the nearest person to you? Let's find you. That would be Pepster. Pepster, let's get you down there. And please carry this settler to the bed. And whilst you're doing that, let's learn a little bit more about this settler, starting, of course, with their name. Everyone, please welcome Malachi to Woven Tales, and thank you ever so much, Malachi, for your patron support. You're a willful mercenary. Malachi had roamed Italy, causing the worst kinds of trouble with the Company of St. George, a group of freemen whose goal was pillaging and chaos. All good things must end, and Malachi had subsequently dug ditches and escaped hanging for petty thievery. Following the plague, bards told of how Malachi commanded the barring of the gates, deaf to the pitiful wails and scrabbling outside. By sheer force of will, Malachi kept extinction at bay in Hollyoaks. That day, Malachi became a legendary leader. Well, okay, fair enough. 49, you're 107 kilos at 150... What? Moving on. Perks. Precious. Malachi is thin-skinned, delicate and nervy. It is important to keep her comfortable. And benevolent. Malachi is a ray of hope in an otherwise bleak existence. She makes everyone feel better. Well, very well. It's wonderful to have you here. Hopefully we can take care of your wounds nice and quickly. And as it happens, we are not far away from getting a bunch of new buildings ready. So you're going to have a private room as well. It's going to be crazy. Wow, you were about as far away as you possibly could have been. That was an awkward fetch there. But okay, we're getting plenty of stone coming in. We're making decent progress, I would say. Decent progress so far, but yes, that's going to slow us down a little bit. Oh, my lord, you're gouting blood all over the place. Well, at least you're not leaving a trail of blood, I suppose. But either way, hopefully someone is immediately going to go and take care of you. Let's have a look. Is anyone tending? Unconscious, cutting, getting resources. I'm going to wait for someone to decide to do that. Maybe. No, okay, fine. I've decided that I'm going to step in. Who are we going to send to tend? Russell, where are you, Russell? You're hungry. Well, okay, look. I can't expect Russell to do his best work at keeping Malachi alive if he's really, really peckish. So, let's just wait. You can have a little bit of a pray. Then, following that, hopefully Russell is on their own going to go and tend to Malachi. Tending wounds. Thank goodness, Malachi. I was starting to be a little bit concerned, I'm not going to lie. Right, okay, well, with that on the go, let's have a look at Malachi's new position in the colony. Settlers are exhausted. I really do need to give them a little bit more time to sleep, thinking about it. And there we go. Malachi has been set up. We're going to be tending wounds, not very often, hopefully, but they'll still take people to bed. Generally speaking, I don't really restrict jobs to never being done, because if it needs to be done and you're the only one available to do it, if you've got priority 5, then please get it done. However, the more skilled labor, the craft skills, I do want those only to be taken on by those who are particularly good at it. That being said, I would like perhaps to pomp these around a little bit. I want a couple of people who are set to doing stewardship, to closing windows, lighting fires, that sort of thing, when the need is there. Now, on that note, we do have the amount of research we need to research smelting. So let's go ahead and get that done. With smelting, we are now going to be able to get some metal items. Well, not strictly. Not yet. Not until we have got ourselves some actual metal ore. But we will build the smelters because, much like the tailoring bench and indeed the woodworking bench, we can break down items that are made of metal to get a little bit of metal recycled. And I think that's going to be a particularly useful one for us as well. How are we doing over... Ooh, hang on a second. Strike that. We do have iron. Well, that is particularly nice. Fui, please. I definitely need to give you more. Oh. Well. So, on that note, perhaps we need to get these bedrooms made a little bit sooner. Yes, but for now, I suppose what I can do is I can place down a hay sleeping spot at least, so that you can get some sleep. You can even sleep right next to the brazier there. I'm so sorry, Fui. Oh well. But whilst we're trying to get all of the furnishings back up, I'm going to pass a little bit more time so that we can get a bit more resources gathered and a bit more building done. So I shall bring you back in a moment. And there we go. We have managed to move over our chapel and, in fact, have set it up as a chapel rather than just a shrine in a room. I really do like the separate aesthetic from the Oak Brethren and the Restitution chapels. I think they're really quite nice. Now, these rooms are coming along. We've got one bed and a couple on their way to being built, but we also have two new smelters. Now, we can make iron ingots, we can make gold, gold ingots if we have the ore. Now, we don't yet have any ore, but what I would like to set up is a quick automatic smelting of certain items. Now, we've got all of the armors, all of the weapons. The first one, I'm just going to go ahead and straight up and clear and say any shackles. Just go ahead and smelt them. We never actually want to keep shackles. The other one, though, will be for everything if it's below 55 hit points. There we go, and we'll do exactly the same thing over here, just so that we've got everything clear. There we are. And forever again, but this time only things that are 55%. Actually, that should be down there. 0 to 55%, not 55% and up. That would have been tragic. My lord, I caught it. We're now going to see who comments before finishing watching the episode. There we go. Always got to have a trap like that hidden in the episode somewhere, and that's totally why it happens, and not because I'm a derp. Yeah. Right. Let me know down below if you believe that, obviously. My lord, I've got some Arabian princes who would like to give you money that I should put you in touch with. However, there we go. Getting a couple more of the rooms done. I think at this point we can probably afford to start laying down some actual some flooring above these rooms. I'm going to have this whole area as somewhere we can walk. Not sure what we're going to do with it just yet, but we're going to set it up all the same. And likewise, I would like flooring all the way down here. And on that point, we're going to start putting in the merlons as well, right? All the way down along to the corner, and the same on this side. All the way down to this point right there. We'll get the little corner one in here if I can. There we go. Dunk. Now, at this section, we're going to do away with this one and replace it with floor. And at that point, this entire area will be traversable. And I'm really, really eager to see that set out. Our first stone buildings. Oh, don't they look lovely? They look like little. They honestly look like miners' cottages from my childhood, where I grew up, right next to a colliery in the old forests of Wales. They certainly look like the kind of, row on row miners' cottages that you'd find around those sorts of areas. Right, let's have a look. How are we doing for research now? We've actually got 17. I could go with... Ooh, I was going to say I could go with decorative banners, but maybe we should hold off on that. They wanted slaves. They demanded blood. Indiscriminate raiders intent on pillage and plunder charged into a village. Woven Tales folk took up arms, making ready for battle. Okay, well, let's have a look at you. Okay, you got a couple of archers, finally. Someone who may actually prove a bit of a threat to us. It looks like they've got 4 archers, if I can see correctly. 4 archers and 4 melee fighters. All right, well, that shouldn't be too hard for us to deal with, though. Hopefully we can get everyone up here nice and swiftly. Well, there I was, about to lay down yet another cut while we gather the resources, the awful lot of resources we're going to need for all of this. But it looks like we're going to have a little bit of fun. Now, I've also moved my brewing station. I don't know if I've just not noticed it, but I'm really getting the feeling that I've not actually seen anyone get a drink. And that has been further reinforced by having a look through everyone, and everyone is desperately thirsty. It was definitely being used, but I think it may have been just dropping things, possibly in here. We might actually excavate this area and find a load of missing drinks. Either way, some bugs are to be expected. But this is going to be an opportunity for us to properly test out our defenses for the first time. So let's get our peeps in position. I would like you up here. I would like Dr. Lady Terra up there as well. We would like Pepster up there as well. And finally, Fooey. Let's get all of you up top. Malachi, with your sword. Let's get you down here. Let's get our defenders at the gates. Nice and ready. Belial there as well. Let's get everyone into position. Sadly we don't have some sort of horn to blow to summon the raiders, but it's good enough right now. Though that being said, have we actually made a spare bow? We have made 2 spare bows. I'm sort of thinking that maybe, just maybe, in the early stages, I should have maybe some storage up here for armor and melee weapons, and so that our defenders, or perhaps we just have them up there initially until they break through this door, and then they go down to equip. I think that might actually be cool. It'll be a little bit of extra micromanaging for me. We've got someone with a marksmanship of 8, marksman of 6, marksman of 3. So Bilal, you're definitely not going to be grabbing that. So let's go ahead. Manu, I would like you to grab a ranged weapon, and I would like you to grab a ranged weapon. If you could do that right away, that would be fantastic. You're free to move. You are also free to move. Let's get you all equipped, and hopefully we can get up there and do some damage to our enemies. Right, let's get you both up on the ramparts. Bilal, you're just going to have to hold the fort yourself. Right. Stood behind there. Honestly, I'm thinking about moving these inwards a little bit so I can make use of the entire area around here, because quite frankly this is not the best. Manu, let's get you up here as well, please. Okay, one down before they even reach the traps. Fantastic work. Fantastic work. Though Malachi, you're kind of exposed there, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit worried about you. Still, we'll see how it goes. Right, let's go slowly. In fact, Dr. Lady Tara, Russell, could you aim for Oswald? Fui, Pepster, could you aim for Adam? Let's try and spread out our damage here a little bit. Alright, you two can aim for him if you're able to. If you're not, that's fine, just shoot whoever you can. Dr. Lady Terra getting better, well done, very well done. Let's keep up the attacks. Right, they're down. Ooh, Dr. Lady Terra just got a hit, let's have a look. Okay, nothing too bad. It looks like it was just hit point damage rather than a straight up wound. Though again, ooh, Dr. Lady Terra is actually taking a bit of damage here. Disliking that a lot. Let's try and put down their archers if we're able to. Belial can deal with them. Like it's going to take them a while to get through this area, so we should be okay. Right, there we go. Next up, go for them. Actually, Malachi, Manu, go for Donald. You should be able to get fairly easy hits on them there. There we go. Ooh, Russell just got a big hit. Pierced cheek. You got shot in the face, Russell. My lord. Please don't die, Russell. You're like my best medic. It's always the medics. Always in these games. You need to put the tankiest armor on your medics, not because they're good fighters, but because if you lose them, it's a bigger loss. It's a much more dangerous scenario to be in. Adept Progeny Archer Adam is dead. Well done, everyone. Let's go for Milton, please. Dr. Lady Tara, Russell, focus fire on Milton. Donald's is almost down. Have they managed to get through this door? No, they haven't. It's not far off. They're going to be through there soon. Ooh, Russell, I am actually becoming seriously worried. You are actually now in quite dangerous territory, so head back. Go ahead. Flee, Russell. Move away. We'll get someone to heal you up very soon, I promise you. Who's the next best doctor? Let's have a look. That would be Belial. Okay, Belial, you're no longer drafted. I need you to take care of Russell quite badly. Quite badly. Let's take out Milton. You've been a thorn in our side, Milton. There we go. Let's keep it up. Milton is almost down. Good. Right, they're through. They're through, which is a big problem for me. Okay, victory. The beleaguered settlers came under attack in the autumn of 1351. Their ordeal continued for 4 hours and 15 minutes, and ordeal it was. Mercifully, all the settlers survived the raid. Don't speak too soon. Russell is in pretty bad shape. 6 sworn enemies died during the fight. Dr. Lady Terra was the bravest, dealing the most blows to the foe, and Russell took the most damage from the enemy, thinking only of defending Woven Tales in its hour of need. Some of the buildings of Woven Tales were destroyed, a wooden door, and that was the only one. Well done, everyone. Okay, start firing. You two. And you keep it up on Bjorka. There we go. Russell, can please... What are you doing, Russell? You're fleeing. Don't flee, Russell. Russell, go to bed, Russell. Russell, bedtime. Please. My lord. Okay, keep up the attacks where you can, but we're not going to be chasing them. Honestly, well, wow, okay. I said I wasn't going to be chasing them. Apparently we are. No. Pepster, no, we're all good. Everyone, stand down. We've won this fight. We don't need to push our luck. One of ours is severely wounded. Oh, no. Belial, I need you to... No, that's not what I wanted you to do. Belial, okay, cancel that. Oh, my lord. Is someone carrying... No, they're all trying to sleep. Wow. No. Absolutely no. Zero. 100% zero care for poor Russell here. Russell, let's get you down here. I need you to go to bed, mate. Get in there. Right, go to bed. Thank goodness. Right, Russell is down. Good. Belial, ultra need you to prioritize tending Russell's wounds. Don't let Russell die. My lord, that was actually a pretty tough fight. But I definitely feel that we've got some decent feedback now on the way that this is working and the way that we can improve it. So to that end, I'm going to pop that there. And once that's done, I'm going to take this away. Same over here. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to queue these up right now. We're getting rid of this. And this is going to cause the entire roof to collapse, by the way. Thankfully, it doesn't seem like it can do like crushing damage, but this is going to give us the ability to stand all the way around here. Now, it means that our people aren't going to be out of the rain the whole time, and that is a shame because it's kind of why I had these pillars right at the edges. But I do need the ability to properly walk around this area and be able to shoot past there. I feel that's going to be a very, very big and important thing for us. Let's check on you, Russell. Okay, you've been patched up. Your blood is refilling. This is good. Poor old Russell. You really did suffer for Woven Tales there. What a hero. But with that, the immediate threat is gone. So now comes the long and messy cleanup operation. Joy. And little by little, our rooms are starting to be complete. At this point, we have, I believe, 2 full bedrooms. However, one of them... Oh, no, they are actually 3 full bedrooms. One of them didn't have a bed moments ago. But these should give our colonists significant mood buffs over sleeping in a shared bedroom. If we have a look in here, slept in own quarters, +8. Now, let's find someone who has slept in... let's see, let's wait for you to wake up, I suppose. Well, actually, let's see if anyone else has slept in own quarters. Slept in shared bedroom, +4. So this is giving them twice as much bonus, which is good because we're actually starting to see some of our colonists getting a little bit annoyed. Now, one of the big ones is ugly apparel. This is because although their clothing is suitably is of a suitable hit points, some of them aren't nice enough. Let's have a look. Flimsy leather cap. It's got 82 out of 85, but that is making Belial upset. Does not like having a flimsy cap. Very well. So let's see if we can't change things up a little bit. Now, down here, we're already getting rid of anything that's 0 to 55 hit points. Well, now, if we've gotten rid of everything that has 0 to 55 hit points, we're going to start dismantling things that have lots of hit points, but are anything less than flimsy to sturdy. So, unless it's good, we break it down. Now, I'm hoping that one isn't going to be happening all too often, but we may need it to. Once we've got a little bit of beer in their bellies, they're going to start cheering up regardless, though. On that note, I think it's probably time for us to consider popping down a barley field. So let's go ahead and, yeah, sure, an 8x4 barley field right there should help out a little bit more. Actually, let's shrink that just ever so slightly. I would like a 2 wide walkway on the side. We can't, unfortunately, put barley fields down here because there is stone on the ground, but that should help out a little. Oh, thank goodness. Russell is in their own private quarters now. This is good news. Very good news. Let's have a look at you. Severed artery, still minor. You are more or less healed now. So there we go. Actually, you are now fully healed. But that was such a severe wound that it took many, many treatments to deal with. It has taken us an inordinate amount of time to get rid of all of the bodies that were down here. So from now on, we're actually going to have 6 separate pyres up here. The initial build cost is rather expensive, but that should allow us to get through all of the corpses a lot faster, because honestly, having those corpses lingering and people walking past them frequently, especially when they're in the gatehouse, the only way out of our camp, that was really hitting people's moods. My only concern is that whenever we have a raid, we're suddenly going to get reinforcements from all of the lands around, because they will see our signal flares and misunderstand. It is not actually a signal flare, it is the bodies of all of those who decided to stand against us. They woke up in the morning and chose violence, and we woke up in the morning and chose more violence, or same amount of violence, but applied it more efficiently. Either way, we won, they died, they got burnt, and sadly, other people might think that we're trying to send a different kind of signal than we are. This is more our asserting our dominance than calling for help. However, that being said, let's have a look at you. What I really would like help from is getting some wine. Oh, my people they are thirsting. This is not good. All right, let's go ahead and add up to... Sure, let's pop up to 30 there. After that, I would like to make some... Well, actually, I would kind of like... Let's have beer first. If we can make beer, then please do, and make 30 of it. If you can't, make rough wine. If you can't, make regular ale. There we go. Now, I have no idea if this is going to help out or not. We will have to hope it does, because people are starting to really, really, really suffer with that. Hopefully, we can see Manu get some more things that... No, Manu has decided not to. Well, then it's a bit of a problem. I may need to adjust the jobs. I have adjusted the schedule quite extensively, and this has started to help a little bit with the constant alerts of being thirsty, so hopefully that's going to help us out moving forward. But as you can see, we're suddenly out of wood. That doesn't surprise me. We've been going through it rather aggressively. Okay, well, it's time for us then to start chopping down all of these trees. Now, once we've got enough of them gone, we will build a new area. We'll build up an actual tree farm. We could set that up right now. It's only day 6 of autumn, and I think trees only take like 5 days to fully mature. That might actually be a reasonable thing to do. Okay, well, let's go ahead and do this. The only problem with this is I am about to busy my botanists for a long time. Also, I'm going to be perfectly honest, I don't like the way the tree farms look. Simply because they will plant a tree in every one of these spaces, and it'll look... Well, honestly, it'll look like a tree farm in real life, frankly, and I don't like them for the same thing. There's nothing organic. There's nothing natural about the way they look. It's a stark reminder that this is a managed farm. We've taken nature and we've bastardized it. We've domesticated it to the point that there's nothing natural left to it. I have fairly strong feelings about these sort of things, as you can probably tell. But nevertheless, we are going to need wood. We're going to need a lot of wood, so we'll go ahead and we'll set these up. I'll try having a couple of small patches of tree farms rather than one big tree farm, and it might make it look a little bit less atrocious, but either way. Right, let's have a look how many of these rooms are now rooms. We've now got 4 private rooms. Ah, glorious. At this point, we can straight up do away with all of these then. We do not need these to be there. There we go. And this room can perhaps be turned into something else. Now, do we want to turn it into anything else? Let's have a quick look. What could we make right now? I could make an armorer. That may honestly be a good move. I could also pick up preserving food, and I could make a smoke rack if I really wanted to. Better defensive structures. I could start making wooden traps or reinforced door if we've got the ingots. That is also very, very tempting. Let's have a look. We've got blacksmithing down here. I could then start making some metal components. That might be worth it. I could also go for research too, and build a better research table, which would produce textbooks rather than chronicles. But I think right now we're going to go for the armorer. It would be nice to be able to make some wooden bucklers, and if nothing else, just some light leather armor for our peeps. Yes, let's go ahead and unlock that, and as soon as we have these out of the way, I think we're going to move our research table indoors. I think it's about that time. We'll repurpose this room completely. The armorer's stand can then go where the research table once lived. But it's going to take us a while to gather all of these resources, most sadly. Oh, there we are, another autosave. But I think we've actually done a fair bit of progress in this one. We've started moving into private rooms, and quite large private rooms as well, considering how many people were in this room and how much actual floor space it had. The fact that one person is getting into a 9 square meter bedroom is actually quite luxurious. And even Malachi is like, you know what? Yes, I'm being rained on. It's still better than being in one of those shared bedrooms with Belial snoring. Really, Malachi, it's so rude. Belial has done so much for this colony. My goodness. But there we go. I think that's where we're going to be wrapping up today's episode, though. I think we've done a decent bit of progress. Although, once again, it doesn't look like too much. I actually feel that we've made some pretty big strides. As soon as we have these bedrooms removed, we'll be moving our research table in there and then setting up our armorer out here. And at that point, we're actually going to be in a pretty solid position. We'll be making... well, some of our own weapons, at least when it comes to bows, we're making our own weapons, but we will be making armor enough that even our melee fighters will, be a lot better off with leather armor than nothing at all. So I'm going to be pretty happy to get there. Hopefully, having moved our brewing stand, we'll actually start to see some items being brewed, but we'll have to keep a watch on that. But that is going to be it for me for now. I really do hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you in the next, and I look forward to your feedback down in the comments, or indeed with a humble like. Blessed be St. Algorithmus and all those who choose to honor them. But that is going to be it for now. So until next time, and as always, do take care, everyone.